Hello and welcome to the Build-A-Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to assemble a model kit. And I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And before we get things going, I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego to the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote into the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. We are currently at, boom, 27 subscribers. My goal is to get to 30. I shut up about the number of subscribers I have when I hit 30. And also, we're building towards 30 because if I hit 30, then the first goal of my birthday subathon unlocks. And I'll throw that here in the chat right now. My birthday subathon, I should say, June 23rd, starting at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. When I hit 30 subscribers, I will do an anime tropes tier maker list. That is a list of just fucking anime tropes on tier maker. And I'll rank all of those. And then 40 is I do some TMNT Magic the Gathering packs. I have 3 of them to crack. We'll crack some packs. And then I've got a Wing Gundam model kit entry grade, a yellow taxi from Lego City to build, a tour of Fallout 4 with mods, my very strange game of Fallout 4 that I've got going. And if I had 80 subscribers, a full glass of Dr. Pilk, which is, of course, Dr. Pepper and Milk. 90 subscribers, I will bring back solo 404ing it. A solo version of 404ing it, Breaking Down the Internet, will take place. I will stream it on July 21st. So that's me promoting that. And yeah, like I said, I'll be playing Dwarf Romantic. I've got some commercials old video game commercials to run while I am getting food and eating food. It'll be a long stream. It'll be a good time. It replaces my normal Tuesday night stream. Harold just subscribed at Tier 1 for 6 months in advance, which brings the subscription numbers have been subscribed for 101 months. Thank you so much, Harold. 101 Harolds. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site Tier 2 blue button chat. Thank Harold for the continued support. That's so many months. Not only is that so many months, but that's a bunch of months in advance, which is very kind of you, Harold. I appreciate that very much. I hope your summer is already kicked off and doing well. And then Harold gifted some subs into the community as well. So let's also throw some emotes in the chat and thank Harold for that. Welcome, gifted sub havers, to the BFM who is here in chat. To Izzy, we love Izzy. It's been a hot minute, Izzy. I know that you lurk. Charles Rose, Condition Bleen, and of course, our first person to get a gifted sub, Big Chungus TV, welcome. And then we just got a bunch of gifted subs from the BFM. Thank you so much, BFM. Let's also throw some emotes in the chat. Thank you, BFM, returning the gifted subs with their own gifted subs, which is incredible. So thank you very much. And welcome, Night Ghost Kevin, excellent name. Barbados Black Belly, the A in MAP, Zvek 98, and Puzzler 36. Welcome to everybody. We are past our goal here because now we're at 38 subscribers, so I can take this stuff away. And a couple of those will drop out. A couple of those were gifted subs of the 38 from last month. So they'll probably phase out before we get to the 23rd. But right now, we don't have to worry about subs leading into it. So that's awesome. Welcome everybody. Enjoy your subs. Enjoy your cool emotes and not having to see ads for a month. That's nice. Man, I gotta, look. Everybody's got great usernames. Everybody has great usernames, of course. But shout outs to Big Chungus TV. You didn't get Big Chungus. Somebody beat you to that. But you went with TV, which is a good addition to Big Chungus. Also, I don't think they let you do 69 anymore. Because obviously, Big Chungus 69 is probably the best name possible. They might, but I think Twitch doesn't let you do 69 anymore. Maybe they do. I just haven't seen it. But Big Chungus TV, that's good. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, let's go to the overhead camera. Let's do that. Here's the overhead camera. We can take away the sub numbers. As you can see, we've got Optimus Prime here. This is our Optimus Prime 6'7". Harold, I bet you can do 6'7" after a name. Or the not superior, but to me funnier is to say it in Japanese. Roko Nana, Roko Nana. I think that is to me that is a funnier way to say 6'7", is to say the Japanese Roko Nana. I don't know why I think that's funnier, but I do. Mainly because people that say that are folks that don't know the context. There's very little real context of 6'7", but they don't know the limited context of 6'7", so they're just like, okay, all right, you do that, okay. This is Optimus Prime. You may know him from the animated movie Transformers 1, which I have not seen, but I will because it seems neat. So that's Optimus. Optimus does light up. Optimus has the Matrix of Leadership. We installed the Matrix of Leadership in Optimus, which is neat. That's just a neat thing we get to do, and it's got the little screen. So if you haven't seen BLOKEES, they do. They got a bunch of licenses. They are a company that does have the proper licenses. They are not just messing around. And they have Transformers, and they have two sizes. They have classic class and action. And action are the bigger ones. They're like the equivalent of a 144 scale and a 1/100 scale, a high grade and a master grade. So this is the high grade equivalent. So it's pretty simple. No tools required for any of them. So you can just go in and build. No stickers that I've seen so far. And all of them do have the little battery things that light up, which is neat. This is the third. Yes, this is the third one that I've done of this scale, and I've only done one of the larger scale. Some of their properties they only have one scale. They don't do the two, but they've done that with Transformers, and I think that's neat. What I don't love about these is that I don't love the one-page instruction book. I like a bigger instruction manual because I am an old man. So I like a big, beefy instruction manual. And this is not giving big, beefy instruction manual, which is a shame, in my opinion. I wish it did. So this is a B14, and we'll need B12. But unfortunately, it doesn't. Like I said, I wish it did. That would be cool, in my opinion, if it did that. And then we need C2, 8 or 9. Let's see. Where are you? There you are. Okay. C2, 8. Right. Oh, cool. Got unlocked some stuff. Nice. Yeah, we had that was fun that we had ourselves a hype train because of all the gifted subs all at once. It was very kind. Very nice. Thank you to everybody for that. It was very cool of y'all. To support what I'm doing here, which in this case is finishing up Optimus Prime. And then I don't know how much we'll have time to start the next build, but I know that we'll finish this by today. So I said at least I would announce that I had another thing on deck and what that was, which is the no grade. So we'll talk more about it when we get there. But I'll give you a little history of no grades while we're just kind of like, vibing here at the start. They've done this in the past. This is from Sea Destiny era that this happened. But basically, a thing that Bandai liked to play around with was, what if we make bigger kits, but they're not as complex as our master grade? So we'll take the 1/100 scale, but we'll make them like a high grade. Now, they did that for Wing, and they called them 1/100 high grades, just like the 144 high grades. And so this no grade is similar to that. It's not gonna be a complete master grade. It's gonna feel more like a high grade, just be a bigger high grade. But they didn't name it, that. Then said they went with the name no grade. I have built a couple no grades on stream in the past. It's pretty infrequent. There is a 160 scale Wing Zero no grade that I built that I think is pretty neat because it's like very fucking hollow. But I didn't know that they tried some no grades, the 1/100 scale no grades, with Seed. In this case, Seed Destiny. The Chaos Gundam, which is a good name and a fun Gundam. I didn't know they did this because I didn't watch Seed while it aired. I was kind of on a break from watching anime. And also I had watched some of Seed, but I didn't finish it at the time, so I didn't start Destiny when it started airing. And then eventually I would come back and watch it. Because, I was on a bit of a break from anime. My return to anime came in 2011. And I know that. I don't remember when I stopped watching. It was probably 2004 or 5. But I know when I came back, because it was the launch of Hunter x Hunter 2011. I should have mentioned that when I talked about it for Kuma Baer, but that is my return to anime watching, like consistent anime watching, was Hunter x Hunter coming back because goddamn, I loved Hunter x Hunter 99, and I was like, oh shit, they're gonna they have so much more material, and they can fix some of the weird shit from 99. Which they did. But that is my return. I have that show to thank because I loved it so much. I also shout outs to Nick Civitello, old friend Nick Civitello. Nick was came to New York. He moved. Maybe that was when he moved or when he was visiting. Either way, we had lunch and he was like, "Here's some anime that's out right now." And I was like, oh, I don't know. And he was like, Hunter x Hunter is back and it's good. And I was like, fine, I'll get back into anime, I guess. And I will say, have not looked back since. Caught up on a bunch of stuff I had missed out on, and then watched new stuff as it came out. Got proper subscriptions to things. I had a Crunchyroll and a Funimation sub for many years, and then I went down to Crunchyroll and I did High Dive, and I do High Dive now and again as well, of course. But yeah, I got back into it because of a recommendation from an old friend, saying hey, you'll like this stuff, and they were right. Nick was 100% right. So then when I got back into that, I got back into anime. I got caught up on most of the Gundam series that I hadn't watched as they were coming out. I think I didn't watch Age for a while. When did Gundam Age come out? I want to say Gundam Age came out when I wasn't watching, but maybe it didn't. Maybe I just skipped. It. What year did that air? 49 episodes. 2011 to 2012. Okay, 2011. Yeah. So that's when I was coming back to watching anime, but I didn't watch it as it aired. I watched that later. I think I was busy watching Gundam stuff that I hadn't seen yet, and getting caught up. And then I ended up eventually. All right, is this F29 and this is F28? I have to make sure that I have the right. No. This should be F210 and F17. F17, that's right. And then so is this F28 or F210, I should say. This is F210. Okay. The right arm and the left arm are instructions are right on top of each other, and so I'm trying not to mess up. Okay, well, that goes in there. All right, that goes in there, and then we cover it with 3 and 10. Couple short things, and then we'll talk about Summer Game Fest, because obviously there's a lot to talk about with Summer Game Fest. But a couple quick little news stories here. or just one, actually, sorry, one quick little news story here. This is not immediate game related, but I did want to bring it up. It's rough to start here, but I've been talking for a bit about other stuff, but then we'll get into the we'll get into the other thing here. But I did want to acknowledge the passing of Anthony Stewart Head, a comedic actor and dramatic actor, certainly best known for being Giles on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Giles. But also for a younger generation, known as for performing in Ted Lasso, reoccurring in Ted Lasso. People got to experience him in that. But yeah, a career actor who was, by all accounts, just a fucking stand-up guy. Once went out of his way to, when he heard from a young fan who had transitioned that it was tough to look at photos of them at conventions because it was assigned to a name they didn't use anymore and a face they didn't recognize, went out of his way to take new photos and take new photos, get them printed, and then sign them. And it's just one of those things where it's like, what a doll. Just unbelievable. Just a stand-up person. Hey, Lord Crashington. Especially when you think of some UK actors that are maybe not as openly sweet to folks from the trans community. But yeah, just by all accounts, a real sweetheart and a real gem of a person. And a great actor. So we tip our cap. I would love to see the 90s UK Frankenfurter performance. I imagine that is available somewhere. I am going to reach out to my Anglophiles friends that I know to see if I can track down his performance in a stage play as Frankenfurter in Rocky Horror. Because when you think of like Giles, you think he wouldn't be playing that role. He would be playing another role. Maybe something a little more straight-laced. So I am interested in finding out, like, yeah, that to me, I'm like, oh, that makes me interested in discovering what's up with that. All right, we're going to use the beam sword here, so we're going to put the gun arm on the other one. I'll do that there. Now, I could put a hand on here. We have hands for this arm to hold, of course. We can just do that, right? That's easy. We can just do that. It's got a hand. But also, I have found at least one video on YouTube, perhaps three. Thank you for letting me know, Izzy. I assumed that people have archived this, that it exists out there. I assumed that was the case, but you never know. Some stuff is lost media. We have to put the axe on here because there's an axe. So we're going to panel line this here. It doesn't really need the panel lines, but it can look nice with a little addition of a little marker on here just to kind of spruce it up. Why not? Yeah. Rocky Horror Show, full live performance, 1991, actual date unsure. Excellent. Thank you, Izzy, for doing the research for me. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's a thing I'm going to have to watch at some point. Yeah. Huh. BBC's Merlin. I've never seen BBC's Merlin, but apparently plays King Arthur in BBC's Merlin. That's neat. So yeah, I did want to bring that up because we do certainly chat about pop culture on these here things, and as someone who is of the I would like to say I feel like I was the perfect age for Buffy the Vampire Slayer in that I was a high school student that had plenty of time to watch TV and remembered Allison Hannigan from My Stepmother's an Alien. So when I saw Allison Hannigan was in a TV show based on the movie Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which I had seen, I was like, oh, yes. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is very much of its time, and by that I mean I was certainly of the right age to think that Xander was reasonable and not the fucking worst. The actor who plays Xander has certainly had his troubles in many ways, but that character fucking sucks, and I didn't realize it at the time because I was a high school student, so I didn't recognize that that he's the fucking worst. But that show was fucking solid for what it was. Young people fighting stuff, trying to save the world and go to class on time. And it was just like, yeah, it's good. There's some good stuff there. There's some very good one-off episodes in that show. Some incredibly well done acting. Obviously there are some scenes you can find scenes that do not hold up and are not good. I do not know why that was blocked there. Don't get me started on Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell. I mean, yes. Yes, Zach Morris is one of the least likable main characters in the 90s in retrospect. At the time, you're just kind of like, yeah, all right. But yeah, his performance doesn't hold up and doesn't hold water. It's one of those you're like, I don't know. Would these people be friends? Would these people be friends is always a good question for when you're watching like ensemble like that. You're like, would these people be friends? I don't know if they would be. I don't know if they would stay friends. Maybe they would. Maybe they'd be friends, but would they stay friends? Like at some point, Zach and Screech have to have a falling out before they get to high school, right? Like that's ridiculous. They didn't have a falling out before high school, in middle school. At some point, Miss Bliss has to talk to Screech about like, hey, you're a genius. You're like an actual genius. Why are you in this public middle school? Like you should apply yourself and stop hanging around with people that just put you down. Because at some point they just make Screech a dork, a dweeb, I should say. He's a dweeb and not a nerd. But like he made a robot. Screech made a fucking robot. And I was like, what are we doing here? I don't think I've ever talked about how brilliant that is, though. Okay, so for those folks that don't know, Saved by the Bell is a high school show with some characters that were in a show previously, where it wasn't just about some kids in middle school or intermediate school or whatever. It was also about a teacher. And then they took that show, took some of the characters, and then moved them to high school and made it all about Zach Morris and his friends, which is really remarkable. And so here's the thing. Now, TV is very different. But then, at that time, syndication was king. If you could get your show syndicated, everybody was getting rich. Everybody was getting rich. Maybe not the teens, but everybody was getting rich. So what they did was they had like at least 1 year of Saved by the Bell. And then they took Good Morning Miss Bliss and they made bumpers for the episodes. They had a little moment where like Zach would be like, "Oh man, I remember a time," like Zach Saved by the Bell age Zach would go, "I remember this time me and so like, I remember this thing happened," and then they show the episode as if it's a flashback, and they were able to take Good Morning Miss Bliss and put it in syndication as Saved by the Bell the early years, and it was fucking brilliant. It's like such a good fucking scam, because if you liked Saved by the Bell, if you liked, say, Kelly Kapowski, if you think AC Slater is the coolest thing, you ain't getting that. You're not getting that at all. You're getting like another love interest, and you're getting like a different other best friend, like Jock best friend, because it's a different show, and you're getting a lot more Haley Mills than you expected. It is like one of the best like good sells of like, well, we can give you young Zach Morris, and people said yes, we will take young Zach Morris. We repackage your show as young as somewhat Saved by the Bell. It's as I said, it's a very good scam. All right. Summer Game Fest. I have not watched other showcases. I will for Monday. Tomorrow I'm going to probably recap the Xbox One. Well, I'll recap it on Monday. I'll watch a recap of the Xbox One and then at least one other one as well. We'll talk about that on Monday. But let's just go through Summer Game Fest. I did not watch the show itself. I don't like them. We're going to talk about advertisements here. But I'm not going to watch a several-hour advertisement of things. I will watch the trailers from it, and I will look at a recap, and people will tell me things. And I did see live reactions to some of those things. I had things going on yesterday, so I did not... I was culturally aware of some of these things as they happened, but for a lot of them, I was just like there, and then I found out about them after the fact, which, you know... Maybe I'm just justifying myself, but I think it's the way to go. As an enjoyer, at the time at least, of Resident Evil Code Veronica, I am excited that there is a remake called Resident Evil Veronica. The code is out. We're done with the code. It is just Veronica, and it appears that they will be doing the first-person perspective, at least in some parts of it. Maybe the whole thing. We don't know. It's coming to Steam, PS5, PC, and Switch 2 in 2027. Yes, Resident Evil Veronica Mars, indeed. My girlfriend is a huge RE fan. Both of us are so hyped. Yeah, I'm excited for this one because this is the game that I enjoyed when it was, I am an enjoyer. I'm a Code Veronica enjoyer, so it's neat. We're getting that. The one thing I watched was Wholesome Direct. Looking forward to the discounted update. Yeah, I do need to watch Wholesome. That is a plan for maybe Monday. We'll talk through some of my favorites. I'm just going to go through and talk about some of my favorites on those, and probably not the whole show. This one, we'll go through some of the bigger stuff. We're getting 2 Cuphead games. Mighty Cuphead Adventure. There's going to be a new full fat Cuphead, and there's going to be Mighty Cuphead Adventure, which is like a retro, like an 8-bit flashback, and apparently they're going to be putting it on physical carts. A number of physical carts. I can't tell you how many physical carts, but a number of physical carts will exist for it, which is neat when that happens. It happens on occasion these days, and that is neat. The old school Muppet Show news bit. Yes, that is a fun way to advertise this. If you're going to, go for it. If you're going to be doing that, you might as well get a little silly with it. I already put this piece on the other side. Why am I having a trouble with this side? I did the other side just fucking fine. Am I just doing it wrong? What? This was fine. I did the other arm. All right, I'm going to try to do this out here. See if I can figure out why I'm goofing this thing up. What? Yeah, what's your fucking problem, piece? Why am I having such issue with this? And Alien Isolation 2. It's gonna have some stuff here on a colony. Studio MDHR developed the 8-bit Cuphead game in assembly. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't see that. That's cool. That's a fun that is a fun weird thing. That is a strong odd choice, and I can fully get on board with strong odd choices. So there's a new Alien Isolation game. Ueda is fucking making a goddamn video game. Fumito Ueda, who you may know from Ico and Shadow of the Colossus and The Last Guardian. This is Project Robot, which was the temp name that we heard about at the Game Awards in 2024. That people were like, "Hey, is that a real video game? Is that going to come out?" And apparently, well, we still don't know until it does come out, but it looks like it is. Yes, they're releasing an actual master cart. Yes, as I said, they are putting it on an 8-bit cart, and for real. Yes, as I said, and that is interesting that they are doing that. But yeah, Ueda's making a game called Gen Atlas, and that is an Epic Game Store PS5 and Xbox X and S game. So that will not be on Steam. Generally, it's not on Steam if they mention, or at least it won't be on Steam right away. We don't know. I don't know if it's been funded by Epic, in which case it stays on there. But that might be the case. It might not be the case. I do not know. It looked fucking cool. I have nothing to say about Blood Message except that I am not the only person to say this about Blood Message. That apparently Blood Message didn't get the message that we're doing mom games now. We're done with dad games. Dad games are over. Pragmata is the last dad game. We're doing mom games now. So sorry, Blood Message. Sorry, NetEase. You are off of the meta here. We're not doing that shit anymore. Got to get a mom in there. I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion on anything I saw from Blood Message. 900 AD China is a cool location. Man, Stranger Than Heaven had a trailer. We don't need to do this. What the fuck's going on over at RGG? What's going on? Stranger Than Heaven is the Like a Dragon prequel. And in part, Tupac is going to be in the game. Now, I will say this. I did not know until yesterday that Tupac's estate is not controlled by a member of his family. It used to be, but after his mother's death, there were shenanigans at chicanery, and now it is just a guy. Some guy owns the estate. So when they say, well, the Tupac estate said this is okay, that doesn't mean shit. That is not his sister, a surviving relative of his, saying, yeah, this is cool. You don't need video game Tupac to be in your fucking video game. You just don't need it. Like, even beyond, like, even if she was like, I'm cool with this is awesome. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? January 15th, you can play that. I don't know. It's not the first dead person that's in the game. Very true, Lord Crashington. Very true. One of the best names for a studio is Dead Astronauts. Dead Astronauts is a great name for a game studio, and they're putting out Hex. Hex? 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 H-A-E-X. Hex. I just call it Hex. And which is a procedurally generated shooter that looked kind of neat. It's coming to PC next year. It seemed pretty fucking cool. But also, as I said, it's pronounced Hex. Okay. Yes, you got yourself a cube. You're messing with a cube. There's an A in there, so I'm calling it Hex. I'm just gonna do that. I don't care if I'm wrong. I don't need to be right. I'd rather be happy than right. Which does not generally apply to what I'm saying there. Let me cook. All right. Optimus Prime has a gun. Look out, everybody. Optimus Prime has a fucking gun and an axe. An Energon axe and a gun. You better watch yourselves. And no legs yet. Dead by Daylight's got some stuff coming up. That game has been... Hey, Dead by Daylight has... Wait. I want to see the official release date of Dead by Daylight. When does the fucking release date of this goddamn video game? Eric's Pope's Dead by Daylight, yes. Okay. Yeah. June 14th, 2016. So yeah, it's coming up on its 10-year anniversary, which made me feel like bones and dust. I already feel like bones most of the time, but I felt like even more goddamn bones when I saw that. 10 years of Dead by Daylight. Then there were some quick announcements, which is why they're revealing what thing they're doing. Yes, on their actual 10-year anniversary, they will reveal some stuff and some things. Some things and things. Then we had some quick trailers. Sand Raiders of Sophie look kind of neat. That's coming out real soon. And has a server slam on Steam. Black Flag Resynced. Black Flag, as you know, is coming back. And they'll finally they can sync it up. It's being resynced, so they'll sync it finally. Hey, Platinum Games is making a Ninja Turtles video game. Not your Black Flag, indeed. And then one day you find 10 years have gone behind you. No one told you you'd run. You missed the starting gun. Yeah, Platinum Games is making a fucking Ninja Turtle game based on The Last Ronin, which is the comic series for Ninja Turtles, which I have heard of, despite me keeping almost no knowledge. I don't readily seek out knowledge about Ninja Turtle comics, but I have heard that shit rules. So yeah, and that is for Paramount Game Studios. Yes, the publishing label. Paramount is putting all of its various things Skydance is putting all of its various companies under the one that they publish games for, under the label of Paramount Games, which is probably just a good thing for people that have to do bookwork stuff. Probably all that really is, more than anything, because they won't have really a unified vision. They're just going to keep doing the publishing deals they have. Maybe they'll have more to say about things now that they're like got a cool name or something, but I bet it doesn't change much of what they're doing. Fortnite's got a new thing. If you want to hear Charlie XCX's Von Dutch over footage of people killing people in Fortnite, you can do that in part watching that trailer if you wanted to. Featuring some shitty streamer on their battle pass. Yes. Yes, there is a Star Trek game that is being made by Bluebird. Bluebird team is making a Star. Somebody's making a Star Trek game. I can't remember who's making that Star Trek game. Maybe it's not Bloober. I can't remember who said they were doing that. Let me look. Yes, it's Bloober team. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Bloober team's making a that Star Trek Shadow Frontier that was on the IGN live thing. A post TNG Star Trek horror game made by Bloober team. You know what? Sure. This channel that we're making here. Yes. It's probably, maybe not most interested, but certainly somewhat interested in Gundam Rogue Orbit, which to me look very much like, oh, they're making a like run and gun, like hack and slash game. And they were like, what if Gundam Age was for adults? Like, that's the vibe I get from the art style or the design of the mechs. Like, what we saw of the mech design, right? Like, we didn't see everything of the mech design. We didn't see all of it. It took me a bit to figure out if it was Gundam or Transformers. Yes. So that's why, like, Gundam Age is colorful, and this is, like, not that kind of colorful. But it did give me a kind of Gundam Age 5. Also, like, the very limited thing we know about it, of it being, like, aliens, you got to fight people, there are Gundams. So I was like, okay. Like, all right. I don't know. It seemed neat. I'll look for more information as we get more information. But in the moment, I was like, yeah, sure. Extremely hard game. That's eggs. EGGS. Extremely hard game. It's a co-op game of obstacle courses, and it's coming in July to Steam, and it is on purpose a difficult game. This is not a game that I will find myself playing, I'm sure, but it is a game that I bet I will watch streamers play together. I imagine that I will be seeing various duos in VTuber duos playing this game, because I often see VTuber duos playing games like, you know, all of the like, oh, we got to work together kinds of games. And so I imagine that this will, especially with it being apparently difficult and therefore perhaps frustrating. Oh, I was supposed to put this in here. Shit. I fucked up. Let's see if I can remove this without needing a tool. I bet I still do. Yeah, I gotta get this out here. All right, can I? Oh, I can pop this out. Okay, great. If I can pop this out. All right. I built this piece and then I didn't put it in. That would be important. And then I can put this piece on here. There we go. All right, fix my mistake. Luckily, fairly easy to fix those mistakes. Yeah, that game looks hard, but I imagine watching it will be fun. Watching people fuck up. That's No Moon has a new game called Crossfire, which seems to be a sci-fi game with like a cover shooter sci-fi thing with stealth. Mitch Dyer of video game journalism fame for a number of years, fame, quote unquote, I believe is writing on this, who switched to being a games writer years ago. But I know Mitch mostly as he applied to work at That's No Moon. Nice. But yeah, I do know that like there are some good folks at that studio. But yeah, they're making that game. Did not necessarily seem to be something that is just like up my alley or is my bag per se, but I'm certainly willing to see like what they got, and I like when people get to work on stuff that they're excited about, and it seems that team does seem to be pretty fucking stoked about that game, so good luck to them. Control Resonant is out September 24th. Hell yeah. I will get it. I will get Control Resonant because I like Control. I like Remedy games. So I'm going to get that one. And yeah, you get to play as Dylan. So I'm into it. I'm into seeing what's up with that. So yeah, we'll get into that game. I'll get into that game in September. They're making another Guild Wars. Guild Wars 3 is coming. PC and PS5. The beta will start in the fall of next year. They're making another fucking Guild Wars. MMOs live on in Guild Wars. Still. I hope my friends who I have known to have made stuff in for Guild Wars music get to keep making cool music for Guild Wars. Also, Danny 8-Bit is apparently working over there. God, I should know off the top of my head. I should know Danny's last name and not him as Danny 8-Bit. That's just rude. Danny Barnes. Daniel Barnes, who you may know for being a writer on Endless Fantasia, a bunch of comics, Sonic the Hedgehog comics, and Guild Wars 2, has also been working on Guild Wars 3, doing some writing there. Also wrote The Black Mage, which is a phenomenal graphic novel. But I know Danny is Danny 8-Bit, and I should know him as Danny Barnes. I should just know his last name, and I don't know why 8-Bit came to me first. I'll tell you this, Pat. The chat for SGF stream was full of dweebs posting Destiny 3 emotes over and over again. Yeah, they're not going to make a Destiny 3, y'all. Some other company, if someone makes a Destiny 3, it will be in many years, and it will not be Bungie. Yes, and not because somebody made Destiny 3 emotes and everyone got their hands on it and they're all, it's like, no, they're not gonna do that, y'all. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm not trying to say like, hey, you should be hyped for the games they're trying to advertise to you, but like, come on. Yeah. Huge Guild War 1 fan, 2 complete turned off, so I don't know what to feel about 3. I hear you, Lashbrook. Maybe 3 will win you back. Maybe this is going to be the one that makes you go, oh yeah, man, Guild Wars. Maybe this one will give you the warm fuzzies. I don't know. Star Wars Galactic Racer did nothing for me. But I also don't like Star Wars racing games, and I know that some people really love them. I never did. I wasn't a big pod racer guy. It just none of it does it for me. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll through some of these fast here. Virtual Fighter Crossroads. That stuff got leaked, so then they showed it early. This is the same thing. A bunch of characters dealing with the Chinese mafia. And as mentioned in this Kotaku write-up that I noticed as well, hey, everybody's just fucking swearing in this fucking trailer, huh? A lot of swearing, a lot of cursing in this trailer, which I'm not here to be like, oh, how dare they? I was just like, oh, sure. RuneScape Dragonwinds has been in early access and is coming out of early access in September. There was some stuff about Nintendo. They had a little segment there. The first one that really caught my eye of the Nintendo section was Starseeker Astroneer Expeditions, which is a co-op exploration game, and that looked fucking pretty cool. I thought that looked neat. Adventures of Elliot did nothing for me. Orbitals did nothing for me. Soul Frame seems fine. Fantasy RPG. Grounded 2 is still getting updates. That's cool. I like Grounded, and I like Grounded 2. I have not played Grounded 2 in a while. Maybe I'll go back to Grounded 2. Mafia, the Old Country, is getting a story expansion called Man of Honor. Coming out in August. 1666 Amsterdam is a historical fantasy game about witches. And that's got a demo out. And I thought that looked unremarkable. That did not hit me. They're making a 3 versus 1 Saw game called Saw Genesis. Not much to say about that. It is an, 3 versus 1 Saw game. That could be fun. I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. They didn't have much to say about it, seemingly. Lords of the Fallen 2 is coming out on Steam sometime this year. Not the first time a puppet hassled Jeff. Yes. Star Wars Zero Company is a tactical game that is they're making a Star Wars XCOM, right? It looks good, man. I haven't loved a XCOM in a while. I haven't loved an XCOM like in quite some time. Star Wars XCOM, man, that kind of does it for me. Izzy's asking if I saw the trailer for Seraphim Helix Experiment, a Metal Gear inspired horror game. I did not see a trailer for Seraphim Helix Experiment. No, I did not see that trailer. I don't generally seek out horror game stuff. If I'm watching like a bunch of trailers that came out for a thing, I might end up catching it, but I don't go out of my way to look at horror stuff because that's just not my bag. But that's a cool name. I'll say that. Hey, if you have Paramount Plus, you can watch an Among Us thing. And there's also an Among Us standalone game coming out. And there's an animated series of Among Us, which is on Paramount Plus and is apparently not bad. So that's a thing. If you want to watch that, I don't know. They should keep making Among Us stuff. Sure. Why not? There's a new story. Already a new story mission is coming to 007 First Light. So more stuff. Man, do they think Lenny Kravitz did a good job? Do you think that, or are they stuck? Are they wondering what they could do? Because I don't think Lenny Kravitz is not a good actor. And he's not a good voice actor, which are different things. Actors can be good voice actors. Voice actors can be good actors. Actors can be bad voice actors. Voice actors can be bad actors. It is a skill set. Lenny Kravitz is not a good actor, and he's not a good voice actor. They're adding a new game plus. Yeah, that is weird. Harold, I totally understand. More Switch 2 stuff. We got a leg here. We're gonna work on other leg here. 2 and let's see, F2 3 and F2 F1 2. Let's see. Yeah, they showed a bunch of little stuff here. And some other things going on, little tiny ones here. Stellar Blade 2 & 2 sequel, yes. 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 Some other things going on, little tiny ones here. Swords of Legends. Look, I am not here to say that wushu has no place in video games. Obviously. Chinese, you want to put some fucking Chinese mythology in there? Fuck yeah, dude. I also, I'm into it. Swords of Legends is a parody name of a video game. That is a fake ass goddamn video game name. Swords of Legends is like when you need a fake RPG name. Of course, honestly, you would do Swords of Legends 2 because you would want to put the sequel name in there. But Swords of Legends is like unbelievably generic as shit. It is remarkably generic. Swords of Legends. I don't remember what the trailer looked like. I just wrote down my own opinion on that goddamn name. Hot Wheels Infinite Rush. Sure. New racing game from Hot Wheels. A bunch of loop-de-loops and environmental stuff coming out September 24th. I think racing games using the Hot Wheels license is always a good idea. Even if the games don't hit as hard as you would like them to, there is something just like freeing about being like, well, yeah, it's Hot Wheels, because then the cars can do dumb shit. And you're like, yeah, of course they are. They're Hot Wheels cars. That's not a McLaren. That's a McLaren Hot Wheels. Like, it's just a license to do dumb shit. And I like that in fucking video games. Let's see. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is collaborating with Godzilla and Evangelion. What? And then there's Sonic Pico Park, which I want to know more about. I want to know more about Sonic Pico Park. I didn't get to see enough of that, in my opinion. Shinji, get in the Sonic? Is that anything? Is that anything? I don't know if that's anything. Sonic Racing has reached the Evangelion horizon, indeed. Hey, why are they making a... Hey, why are they making a new attack... Why are they making a new video game about Attack on Titan? I thought we were free. I thought we were all free of Attack on Titan. We're still like 6 years... 5 years? We're like years away from them remaking it all at once, right? Like we were safe from a new version of Attack on Titan because they will do it, because they of course they will. They'll do an anniversary of like, we're redoing it from the beginning with all, whatever. Yes, and it's going to be the whole series in one video game. But it's the third game. So it's not a continuation of the second game, or so. I don't know. Fuck, man. I don't know. Until they do another miniseries, yeah. Clutch. Hey, look. Do I remember anything about the trailer for the racing game Clutch? No. I know it's story driven. And then also, I know that that this is one of the trailers that if you co-stream this and then you put it up on YouTube, you got flack for, because it uses all these things that I've done from The Killers in the trailer, which is cool because that's a good song, but that did bone a few people that were trying to, just put up the whole uninterrupted archive. They did run into some issues. Lorecrest has only got 2 hits on YouTube. But I know that was messing with some people. There were a few a few trailers that were messing with people, but I've heard that as one that was rough on some folks, which is understandable. All right, so we got to put this on here. Like that. And then I'm going to remember to put this on here I gotta wrap this up and then we'll get into chatting about other stuff. Chronicles Medieval seem kind of neat. Wiz Khalifa is in Hitman. That's weird. Hey, did you know that Pal World was in early access this whole time? I didn't know that Pal World was still in early access, but it's leaving early access in July. It's been in early access for 2 years, apparently. I did not know that. I don't know a lot about Pal World, I guess, is what I'm saying. Yeah, it was in early access. It's leaving early access. It's finally free from early access. The curse has been lifted. Wolf Among Us 2. And then the first one is coming out this holiday. They're remastering Wolf Among Us before Wolf Among Us 2 comes out, which I think is smart because Wolf Among Us has a good, like, one, we'll be able to see, like, what this actual team is going to be able to do if they have money and what it's going to look like. But also, it's good because people have fond memories of that game, and then you can say, like, oh, I didn't play that. Well, there's a remaster. You can get that, and then you can play the new game when it comes out. I think that's pretty fucking smart. Blood Rain, which is the Stellar Blade game, which looked kind of early, kind of like Resident Evil-ish. It's got some Resident Evil in it. Didn't look bad. Numerous people I know who were watching this as it happened were like, hey, what's this? Oh, wait. Oh, okay. This is Stellar Blade. Like, they at some point they were like, oh, I know what this is because of the butts. They realized they knew exactly what this game was as it was as the trailer went on. It started to make it pretty obvious. All right, I gotta get this piece on here. I don't know why it's not coming on right. Street Fighter 6 has got some new people. Tifa is going to be in it, and they're like doing cool new shit for her, which is weird. My girlfriend called the Stellar Blade sequel like 10 seconds in. I was impressed. Yeah, hell yeah. Oh, I had the leg piece on upside down. The reason why this piece wasn't clicking in right is because I was doing it wrong, which is often the reason why that mess up. Yeah, Tifa is definitely not fucking buff in this. And Street Fighter has some buff fucking characters. So I don't know what the fuck we're doing here. And then Final Fantasy VII Revelation, ahead of Summer Game Fest, Jeff Keighley got out there saying that, like, hey, we're gonna do a narrative, like the last game that we're gonna show is gonna be like a narrative focused single player thing. Don't be mad at me because I gave the slot to something I thought. I'm done giving the slot to something I thought looked cool as a way to boost that game, fuckers. I'm not here to defend Jeff Keighley, but come on. So yeah, Final Fantasy VII Revelation will conclude the story. They had to make 3 video games to tell one game story. But also the trailer didn't show Aerith, who is maybe not dead, but they're gonna do it. Yeah, if Final Fantasy VII 3 sells poorly, Jeff will pay for it, indeed. And hey, PC gamers, Xbox gamers, they're not doing a timed Sony exclusivity this time. The previous ones were on Sony platforms for a while first, and then came other places. So in spring next year, if you were an Xbox player or if you were a PC player, you will be able to just get that. And that is smart. They did a good job of doing that. They did a good job not doing the mistakes of the past on that particular mistake. So, yeah, enjoy that. capital G gamers. And that's Summer Game Fest. I've got some anime to chat with you about, but as I finish this up, because I will be finishing this up, Giant Bomb got the Final Fantasy guy on their couch along with Alex Navarro, so they used that photo of his. Nice. Good. I didn't see any of the late night people talking about things. I did not engage with any of that. I did not engage with anything. I'm glad that Alex found a couch to sit on. That's good. But yes, I did not engage with any late night conversations from anybody. I did not watch along with anyone. I merely saw clips of Mori Kalai. We'll end Summer Game Fest talk with clips of the reveal of Tupac from Mori Calliope and Koseki Bijou of How Alive. Them just being like, wait. And then at one point, Bibu, Koseki Bijou, who, it's fine. As far as I can tell, Bibu is like very young. I think she's in her early 20s. I don't know. It's not my business, but she seems very young. She just goes, is Tupac alive? To which noted rapper Callie just says, no. It's like, okay. But yeah. Callie just being like, Tupac's in this game? Just incredulous. Was very fun. He's alive with Elvis, yes. And then you can't see it because it's a VTuber, right? But you can tell there's a moment where Callie wants to go on a tangent about how some people actually think that Tupac is alive, and she doesn't do it. And that's great. I'm glad she doesn't try to explain the fact that some people do think that Tupac is alive. Because Koseki Bijou doesn't need to know that information. She doesn't need that. That girl doesn't need to know those things. That's not going to help her. It's only going to confuse her more. That's an off-screen thing of, well, okay, so people think that was a hoax and he's not dead. Terrible. Anyway, now is the part of the stream where I'm going to talk about other things that are not the Summer Game Fest. No, I'll talk about that on Monday. I realized I know why it's Game Fest and not Games Fest, and I'll talk about that on Monday. It's actually, unfortunately, a very reasonable reason why it's Summer Game Fest and not Summer Games Fest, which some people just say. They say games all the time. And they say the Games Awards, which is also not right. Anyway, hey. Now is the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you about ways that you, the viewer, can support me, the streamer, if you'd be so interested in doing it. Everything I'm about to talk to you is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things, but if you would like to, I'm going to give you some ways to financially support what I do here, and even a couple ways to support me that don't require you to spend any money. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you still have Amazon Prime, you can link it with your Twitch. You get a token, and you can use that for anybody. If you want to use it for me, that would be great. But if you do have that, please use it for somebody. Use it for a streamer. For us, the cut is the same, so it works out just fine. Use your Bezos bucks. If you have to have Bezos bucks. We got gifted, some subs were gifted tonight, which is very, very nice. Harold and the BFM gifted some subs. If you would also like to gift subs, you're more than welcome to do so. That would be rad. Harold also subscribed for several months in advance, which is also very kind. Yeah, if you want to gift the sub anonymously or take credit for it, you can certainly do that as well. Bits and coins are also always appreciated. You can cheer and join the cheer leaderboard. That's all the ways to support me here on Twitch. There are other ways, like my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Over on my Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. My $3, $5, and $10 patrons got a message from me today with a poll about what I should do next Tuesday. If you are at the $3, $5, or $10 tier and you haven't voted yet, please do. I have a video game I played in the past, a new game that came out at the end of last month I haven't played on stream yet, and I want to play some demos, maybe. Including one demo I definitely would play if that wins. So please vote if you haven't already. If you're on the Patreon, consider jumping over there and give me that vote. Or maybe consider joining the Patreon, then you can vote as well. I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube channel, you can, of course, subscribe for free. And while you're over there, consider becoming a member for just $2 a month. You will get my Wednesday videos that I make. I have a ongoing Wednesday video series. You'll get that on Tuesday, so you get a day ahead of time. It's another way to support me if you wanted to. Everything. Those are monthly ways to support me. If you would just like to throw something in the tip jar, you can do that as well. I've got a Ko-Fi and a PayPal, and you make a direct donation if you'd so desire. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense. So if you watch my videos, I get some money. That helps me out too. Through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And from that fund, I pull money out to buy model kits and Lego sets, all kinds of different things. This kit, the Optimus Prime that I've been working on, I was able to pick this up because of your generosity in the past. I saw that it was a good price, and I said, I would like to build that. So I did build that, or buy that, and so I could build it. Now, I do know that something is coming in on my Amazon wish list. I don't know what it is yet. I didn't double check, but I do know that somebody bought something on my wish list, which I believe I will be getting tomorrow, I believe. Now, if you would like to buy something for me to build in the future, have it jump the queue and become the next thing that I work on, you can go to my Amazon wish list that I linked here in chat. I've got model kits and Lego sets, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, all kinds of different things and things. I should mention the Lego 3-in-1 wild animals, a hummingbird and various other things here. That 3-in-1 is currently on sale, which is nice. It has a hummingbird, a butterfly, or a tropical fish. That's neat. And that, as I said, is on sale. And so, yeah, take a look at the wish list. See if there's anything there you'd like to see me put together. You could buy it. I'll build it. That's how that works. And it jumps the queue, as I said. My alternative to Amazon is Throne. My wish list on Throne right now doesn't look that great. But I promise you, in the coming days, I will be expanding it. Because Gundam Planet is becoming soon. They are going to become a licensed business on Throne. And so you'll be able to search them and add stuff to a Throne wish list from USA Gundam Store. And USA Gundam Store and Gundam Planet will be part of that, which is very cool. So take a look at my list and see if there's, when I'll be updating it soon, which I'm excited about. That's neat. Speaking of USA Gundam Store, if you want to support me the most convoluted and complicated way possible, you can go to USA Gundam Store. USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper here on Twitch or a private message on Blue Sky or Mastodon. With that gift card code, I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. If you want to support me and not spend any money, join my Discord. My Discord would love to have you hang out there. It's a cool place with fun, nice people. So consider joining me at the Discord. A couple video links for you to check out. I will have a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club up tomorrow, on Monday, I should say. But if you missed the last one, you should check it out. The Crunchyroll Anime Awards happened this year, as always, and I talked about it. And hey, weirdly enough, I agreed with some of the big winners. I disagreed with some of the smaller winners, and there are a couple categories I don't think should exist anymore, and so I talked about that. Basically, in my opinion, with One Piece going seasonal and Black Clover coming back as a seasonal, they should stop ongoing series. They should just get rid of that category right now. Because just, come on, what are we doing? There you go. I mentioned that in the video, but There you go. And Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. Every week, I recommend an anime. It's a YouTube short. You should watch it, please. I had a nice boost in viewers on this one. I talked about Golden Lighten. Golden Lighten is an anime from 1981. It's not good, but it is good, if you understand what I'm saying there. It's about a little boy that finds a Zippo, a golden Zippo, and then that transforms into a giant golden robot, and the robots fight aliens, and the little boy has a bunch of dumb friends, and they also help out. And it's bad and also great. And it's on High Dive, and I talk about it for a minute in the video. And you should watch that. In June, it's Mecha Month, so I'll be talking a bunch of mecha anime. And the next one, next Wednesday will be another mecha, and then 2 more after that throughout the month, right? Wait, because there's 4 Wednesdays in the month. I have to do 5 Wednesdays in July, so I have to. That's a future Pat problem. Anyway, I've got some anime to chat with you about as we're getting close to the end of the season. Seasonal anime, getting ready to wrap shit up. But in order to talk about that anime, I need to drink some water. And we need to get back to the overhead camera so we can finish up Optimus Prime from Transformers 1. And we'll do all of that dramatically right now. Hell yeah. Pardon me. Sorry. All right, we're almost done with this kit. We'll panel line it up. We'll build the front part here. We'll panel line it, put it together, take a photo of it, and then we'll move on to a model kit. But also, let's start talking about a couple anime here. 2 fantasy anime, one that's an isekai, one that isn't. Let's talk about episode 10 of An Observation Log of My Fiancée Who Called Herself a Villainess. Shit is popping off on this one. Now, the last episode, if you haven't been watching this show, our girl Birdia woke up in an Otome game, which is the old dating game show, kind of thing. So she is an isekai character, and she is the villainess Birdia. And she really liked the story. So Birdia has decided, oops, knocked over a piece here. Birdia decided from a young age that she would, that the story was going to happen no matter what. So she should do her best to just force the story to go ahead. And she's very honest about that. Now, the thing is, because she is an isekai character and acts differently than she did previously, the guy that's supposed to end up with the heroine doesn't want to do that because she's so interesting. So Cecil is like, it's just like, no, you made my life interesting. You made it like worth living. I don't want to marry someone else. Why do you keep, and at some point he's just like pissed off that she doesn't want to be with him. And she keeps trying to like force him with the other character. There's some other things happening in this one. It's clear that also she's not necessarily great at the other girl is not necessarily great at this. Heronia isn't necessarily great at all of this either. There was one last ditch effort to basically brainwash Cecil with the plot of the game in order for him to like at last ditch effort fall in love with Herdia. Herona and not Birdia. And it failed. It failed because P, who was the servant of Herdia, ran out of magic. And so Cecil finally comes back to the real world, and we end on a cliffhanger of some sort of trouble with Birdia, which is Birdia was just like trying her best to wake Cecil up, which is good, right? But also because she wanted him to wake up and marry Heronia. So she was like threatening to join a monastery and become a nun. So it was just like, oh, this was not a big cliffhanger. They needed a cliffhanger. This wasn't really it. So Birdie is just like, look, at graduation, Heronia chooses a partner and of one of the guys that she could choose, because obviously she had choices, and that will lead her down a specific ending. So graduation is when this is supposed to happen. The best ending is the Cecil ending. Because it means that Cecil is happy if they're together. Any other ending and he's unhappy. So it's considered the best ending. There were some bad endings. We see some visions of what if she chose Vlad. And we don't see a bunch of the other ones. We see that. Birdie is like, if we chose Sean, then Cecil exiles himself. If she chose Nelt, Cecil becomes a shut-in scientist. And develops gunpowder, which is a cool, weird twist. It's fun to see these, like, what ifs. Let's see. If she chooses Charles, Cecil becomes a spy and helps Charles win the war. If Cordigane, and remember, all these characters have, like, Birdia made it so all these characters met people to fall in love with, so none of them are interested in Heronia either. So these options wouldn't happen either way. Cecil gets assassinated in one instance. And Birdie's just like, there's no option, like, if there's no option where Heronia doesn't end up with somebody, so she doesn't know what would happen if this happy ending doesn't happen. Then because Birdie is like, she's the maiden of destiny, she needs to be with someone. That's what destiny is. And then Cecil has some sort of revelation and kisses Birdia, and then a crest shows up on Birdia's hands, which is the Maiden of Destiny crest. And Cecil's like, so it's either that Birdia didn't understand or it wasn't explained well in the game, but that crest doesn't mean you're the Maiden of Destiny. It's just a blessing from Zeno, the god Zeno, who identifies Cecil's chosen soulmate. And Birdia did not know that. And now Cecil and Birdia have the same crest, and he's like, well, crests are permanent, so we have to get married. Sorry, we definitely have to get married. There's no way around it, which our girl is like shocked about, which is very funny that she's like, what? We have to get married? It's just like, yeah, girl, this is the plot of the fucking thing. Whoops. Hold on. I knocked over. Oh, all right. Hold on. I got to go to the pre-show screen because I have to stand up to get my snipper clips, which I knocked so far away, I can't pick them up. So let me get that. Stand up to get that. Oops. All right. I can come back towards my microphone and hit the main button. Live show. Yeah. I knocked it so far that I had to get up, move my chair, and then crouch down to get it because I couldn't reach it from sitting in my chair. Anyway, this episode explained some stuff and was kind of interesting. There was like a whole scene with like Birdia told Cecil to like meet her in the garden, and then had Heronia there like waiting for, like, Heronia still thinks she could pull this shit off, which is kind of funny. Because it's like, no, girl, that's not gonna work. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool episode, and the like explanation I thought was kind of neat. All right, so we built Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime from Transformers 1 is here, and I am going to kind of give it a battle pose. I'll show it off here before we take the photo. I like this a lot. I like the matrix of leadership in the chest. I think that is neat. Wait. There it is. Gotta tap it. I think that's fucking cool as hell. These are fun. This was like $20. The smaller ones are like $20. You don't need to use panel lining. I like panel lining to give it a little edge. You don't need any tools to assemble these, no stickers. If you just want to like build a fun little model kit of like a Transformer that you like, they have the classic as well, like the Transformers Generation 1, not Transformers 1. They also have some of those. We've built the Shockwave, and we've built 2 Megatrons. They had the expensive version, which the expensive Megatron is fucking phenomenal looking. So yeah, this is a cool kit. I'm glad I built it. I'm going to take a photo of it. With it stand down like this, because I think that's funny. And then I will work on the next kit and talk about the next anime episode that I want to chat about. Always a Catch. A good episode of Always a Catch. But let me get my phone. Sorry, camera shake is going to happen there while I get this over here. And I get my camera app open. Then I've got to take a photo of this. Hell yeah. All right. Optimus is going to go over here with my knickknacks for a little bit. I don't think I'm going to keep Optimus out, but right now Optimus is with the Hot Wheels car and the Lego poop, the dinosaur poop, and the model kit of a piece of sushi. All right, and so this goes away. Goodbye, Optimus. And then I forgot to add this image, so we'll do it now. We were going to add in the chaos. 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 Chaos Gundam. Here we go. Put that over there. This is the Chaos Gundam no grade. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Oh, no. Hell yeah. I hit the mute button before I sneezed. Good job, me. All right, we'll put that there. We'll put this there. This can go away. These pieces later. We do have a couple stickers here, which is fine. We also got Sting. Yes, take those wins. We got a little placard here of Sting Oakley, the pilot of the Chaos Gundam, which is fun. Blood type A. Yep, Sting Oakley is a good ass name. I can't find the PowerPoint anywhere. I'd have to watch the Giant Bomb variety show PAX panel to see it. But I did a this or that where we quizzed Abby Russell on Gundam or Putnam, if it was a name of a Gundam character, pilot or otherwise, or a character from 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. I forget the number. And that was a good bit of business because there are some good ass names in both those things. Gundam or Putnam. It was good. It was a good this or that. Anyway, this is a 1/100 scale. This is originally from 2005. Of course, as always, important to mention this. While this design is from 2005, you can see on this instruction manual the red box, the red Bandai box. But if you look at the box that this came in, it's a blue Bandai, which means re-release. This is a reissue. It means the plastic is not from 2005, but the design is from 2005. This is not a kit. This plastic is not 21 years old, but the design is 21 years old. As you can see from like all of this shit, where they thought maybe a new generation was getting into Gundam. And so they had to have like a comical explanation of like what tweezers and snipper clips are and how to do shit. And there's more down here. It's great. This shit is a nice little time capsule of all of that. Like, whoa, oh, that's a piece you snip off. Oh, you can snip away and then snip closer. Like, yeah, you could. Also, I don't know if I'm going to use all of them, but look at all these fucking polycaps. There's so many goddamn polycaps in this goddamn no grade. Why are there so many goddamn polycaps? Ridiculous. And then symbols for the various stickers that we need to apply when the time comes. Hopefully it won't be in the next 25 minutes or 20-ish minutes, because I don't want to apply stickers tonight if I can avoid it. If I go a whole stream without a single sticker, that'd be rad. We start with the chest. Okay, there is a sticker. We might get to the stickers, the head sticker there, which, you know, expected that there'd be head stickers. So maybe we'll have to do that. The V-fin you build yourself? We're gonna like build the V-fin? That's fucking weird as hell. There's a couple things that are weird as hell with this. We're gonna build the chest, and then we're gonna build the head, and then we're gonna build the gun and the shield. And we haven't built the arms, but we'll build the gun and the shield. And I don't know fucking why we're doing it like that. Then we build the waist. I love that. When you go from the chest to the waist, that's great. Build the waist before the legs and the feet. Excellent. Love that. And then we move to the feet. It's weird. And then after that, you can put it together. And then the last thing is the backpack, the flight mode backpack. And then you can do the kind of transformation. This kit kind of has a transformation because like the headpiece comes up and then it puts the head in there, and it's got like an alternate it's got an alternate fight mode. It's not really a full transformation, but it does have a different mode. And so we can build that mode, which I've always found to be very silly. Very, very silly. To me, you can put blades in the fight mode has blades in the feet, and I find that to be very silly in a way that I can get on board with. I've always found that to be remarkably goofy. I like it. Yeah, this is a better drawing of the foot blades. Beam foots. Foot blades. Really silly. Unbelievably goofy. Chaos Gundam. So we'll build the non-grade Chaos Gundam here. Put all this shit together. And as we do that, gotta make those kicks hurt more. Indeed. As we do that, I will chat with you a bit about Always a Catch. Always a Catch, if you've not been watching the series, it's great. I really recommend it. Our main character, went to another kingdom in order to find a husband because she hadn't been doing that. She originally thought she was going to inherit her domain, but instead, kind of late in life, her parents were like, "Oh yeah, we had a kid, so you don't have to worry about that. Go try to find a husband." And she ended up with the crown prince through shenanigans. The last episode, she made it so that her best friend, Maria's our main character, sorry. Ada is the best friend. Ada got with the guy that, she originally was going to be the crown princess and next queen. But she's always been in love with the other brother. So now they're together. They had a whole episode of them like figuring out their fucking shit and making this thing work. And now it looks like that is going to work. So good for them. So episode 10 opens with both engagements getting announced because like, okay, great. So both princes have their brides and their brides are friends. So now the crown princess will have support from like the brother and all that. And it's like, oh, that's cool. And so everybody's like pretty buzzing about it. There is an upcoming ball with a dance that our girl Maria is required to do. And reminder that she did not like, she is not prepared for that. She's like prepared for like, I'm going to get married. Yeah, I'm in love with this guy. I'll be a queen and support him. Sure. But she was not prepared for like, there's an important dance you have to do and you can't fuck it up. So she's like, oh, okay. She runs away from dance lessons because they're hard and ends up meeting with Rosalina. Rosalia. Rosalia was like, has always been in love with the crown prince and tried to become a villainess and really mess things up and scare off Maria. And Maria was just kind of laughed about it and thought she was cute for trying it. So now they're friends. So they go and meet Rosalia's father, who is a perfumer. Good night, Harold. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for the gifted subs and for doing the 6 months of tier 1. I appreciate that very much. But yeah, thank you for your continued support, my friend. Have a good one. So yeah, the Count is a perfume seller, and apparently, because of like previously where there was like this guy and some crops that needed to get sold, and Maria was like helping the people out. There was a whole thing with that. They were able to purchase this flower that they don't normally have access to and make this like very good perfume. Rosalia. So Rosalia creates unique perfumes for Maria and Ada, and then is like, hey, like, you got to be on your best behavior at this ball. Things could get really dicey because there will be delegates from other countries. So you got to be cool. Maria and Ida go to the Queen for a tea party. You might remember that the Queen originally was pretty cold, but that was all an act because she really thinks Maria is awesome. And then she was just like fucking stoked to have Maria as her future daughter-in-law. And it was like a nice playing with the trope of like, there is no evil like in-law. Both of them are just like, yeah, you make him really happy. You seem fucking cool and strong-willed, and that's great. Let's see. And then we get, unfortunately, the shittiest character in this goddamn show comes back. That is, what's his fucking name I've written in my notes here. So, Ireno. We get Ireno's backstory. This is like the cousin of the Crown Prince. And he is a womanizer, and he is shitty, and he hits on Maria, who obviously does not give him any quarter, but it's like, hey, what the fuck? You can't hit on the future king's fiance, my guy. But we find out why he's the way he is, which is, so, at some point, before both princes were born, there was a fear that the queen might never have any children, because they had some fertility issues. So they were afraid there wouldn't be any offspring. So they temporarily had the cousin, Ireno was the like crown prince for a little while there. He was basically a fill-in because they were like, well, we need to get somebody ready for it in case this never works out. And then, of course, it did work out. When he was being raised, there were a bunch of like shitty nobles that surrounded him with praise because they were looking to take advantage of him when he got older, and then they left him alone. And they completely abandoned him. And then also, he got a lot of sympathy because he was supposed to be the crown prince, and then he's not the crown prince. So people like indulged him in his shitty behavior. So we get an explanation for why this dude who sucks. And it's like, excuse me. It's like, okay, I guess. And so it definitely like is an explanation. But our guy Renato, who is the crown prince, is like, yeah, but also he still sucks. He's still like a womanizer, and he still like hits on married women, and he's still a fucking bum. And if he doesn't change his ways, I'm not covering, when I become king, I'm not covering for him. I'm not covering for my cousin. He'll have to deal with it. So again, we got backstory of the shittiest character. It makes him a little bit more sympathetic, but also he still sucks. So it's just like, it didn't fix my problems with the guy. Meanwhile, our cliffhanger, because there's got to be a cliffhanger. Our cliffhanger is a woman that we don't recognize swears she will get revenge on Maria. Who hates Maria? Could it be the woman that tried to attack her when she was having tea with the queen for the first time? Because there was an attack. There was a mysterious attack then. It could be related to that. We don't know. We'll find out in episode 11, I assume. So yeah, shit's popping off on this show. I really like Always a Catch. I'm glad I picked this up. I wasn't watching it at first, and it's really going places, and I am interested in what it ends up doing and what else we get to see with the show. So yeah, I'm on board, and I'm looking forward to more of it. All right, A31 is this piece here, and then that goes on first, and then A15 goes on after that. So we'll do those two pieces there. We have some time left on the stream. We don't have a lot of time, but we got a little time left in the stream. So I'd like to hear from you, friends. You playing any video games? You watching anything? Was there anything from other directs you watched or showcases you watched this weekend that you were like, oh, I'm amped about this. I wish listed this thing. Like, please let me know. I always love hearing from you about what you got up to, what you're into. You see any movies this weekend? You know, doing anything exciting for the weekend? Let me know. Today I went and had coffee. I didn't have coffee, but we like coffee and a little dessert with some family friends, and that was nice to see them and hang out. And then my mom made stir fry, and it was good. That is just her vibe, and you know she likes making it, so we enjoyed that. Yesterday I played a lot of Marathon. I'm digging current Marathon. I'll say that. I'm playing it with friends. I'm having a good old time with that. My multiplayer crew is feasting. We're having a lot of fun in Marathon. I'm liking what I'm getting right now, and I will be playing. I'm going to be playing more tomorrow. There's a Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling show happening tonight that I'll be watching tomorrow evening, but tomorrow afternoon I'll be playing any. Yeah, so last week I've done some. I don't want to get like too deep into it. I'll probably get deep into it on Monday because tomorrow we're going to be doing Night March. So we haven't yet, but we're going to be doing Night March stuff tomorrow. So I'll have more to say about that then. Yesterday was just kind of like everybody kind of remembering how to play Marathon because it's been not the hottest of minutes, but it's been a minute since we dived into it. It was just kind of getting the full crew up to snuff and everybody feeling comfortable for tomorrow when we're going to get into shit. Yesterday was just kind of like vibing and goofing. And it was good. The vibes were good yesterday. I'll say that. I need A11. This piece here. All right. And then I need A10. We are almost done with the chest. Other than that, what else was I up to? Not much, really. I watched some wrestling last night. That was good. Last week's Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling show. So I'm caught up going into the show tomorrow, which is, again, tonight. I don't know if I mentioned on Thursday. They announced that July at Summer Sun Princess, I think I mentioned it, Aja Kong will be doing a one-on-one match with Arisu Endo, who is one of my favorites in TJPW. I love Arisu. And that is fucking great. It is a sign of confidence. Aja is going to win, but Arisu will get to show some babyface fire in trying to survive Aja. And maybe even Aja will sell a little bit for Arisu. And it is a good... it shows that the TJPW folks, TK, the other TK, the real TK, over there is looking at Arisu as like a future big member of the company, and so that rules. I also tracked down and watched a copy of Miyu Yamashita winning the international title at Eve. Miyu Yamashita has not had a title from any company in like 4 months, which is a long time for her. She often has belts. So I was like, oh, good. Get a belt on that girl again. It feels right when she's got a title. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I really like TJPW. So I don't think any of the belts change hands. Look, I'd love to live in a world where Kiryu Mahiro wins the International Princess title off of Suzume. I don't think it's happening. Now, do I think that Mahiro is going to lose that belt and then win the Iron Man belt off of the Iron Man champion who's doing commentary that night? I think that's possible. I think Mahiro wins the Iron Man title back after she loses her shot at the international title. But I don't think the tag belts are changing hands, and I definitely don't think the world title, the Princess of Princess Championship, I definitely don't think that Kamiyu is going to win that one. I think this is, I think in the Yuki fight, Yuki Arai wins. And keep it on Yuki Arai for a while. I mean, I think the Yuki Arai experiment is ongoing. I don't think she's going to have a long reign because I don't think she's going to vastly improve these next few months. But I think she's like doing it. She's doing the work. Lord Crash says, I've been watching Star Trek, the original series, alongside Next Level's Watchcast, and I love the low-budget look of the alien plants and creatures, like the dog in a very cheap little suit, and a weird plant that is clearly a hand and a glove. Yeah, they didn't have fucking money. They didn't have money for that. Sucks that Yeoman Rand is getting the brunt of women getting treated poorly plots for these first handful of episodes before she leaves the show. Yeah, I mean... It's fucking rough out there. I'm going to sneeze again, I think. So hold on. No, I'm not going to sneeze. Thought I was, but then it didn't happen. I thought I was going to sneeze. I got it ready, and it didn't happen. But yes, I agree with you, Lord Crescent. Also, Lord Crescent is excited for the Star Wars DLC for our Power Simulator 2 next month. That is coming out in July. I will, of course, be streaming that. Don't you fucking worry about it. If you even possibly thought that I wouldn't stream that, come on. I'll buy it and stream it. I'm going to play that. It's going to be good. I should actually just see real quick here. Let me just click on my... Show me my wish list. Let me just check a wish list thing here. And I'll read what you said, Lashbrook, in a second. Okay. They have not said how much the Star Wars pack is, as far as I can tell. Just that it's coming out July 16th. So it's coming out July 16th, which is a Thursday. So I'll be playing it on the 21st. Lord Crash says $9.99. Okay. It does not say that on the page, but I'll believe you. Include 6 jobs instead of 5. Yes, I did see that. Last week logged on to Street Fighter 6 because of the collab items with the anime Young Ladies Don't Play Fighting Games. And it's also the 3rd anniversary, so I've been doing missions to get items for that. That's fun. Funny seeing which things are still in my muscle memory. I did download, this is last week saying, Guild Wars 2, but I haven't played the game as much as I have done a lot of figuring out what all this stuff clogging on my inventory is again. I've been there. I understand that. I feel you. Lord Crashington. Or Lord Lashbrook. Sorry, Lashbrook. All right. Our final thing tonight will be putting on one sticker. I'm going to do one sticker tonight because it is the eye stickers and should theoretically be easy to do. This is, again, a 2005 designed eye sticker, so it might be frustrating. It might not be. I might curse myself for trying this. I might have to cut it and glue it on separately. But we'll see if I can get this sticker on. Immediately giving me trouble. Immediately giving me trouble. Let's see if we can get this on there. The group of black stickers looks like a bit like Sly Cooper. Okay. I can see what you're saying, like the black and the blue there. Yeah, getting a little, and the eye sticker, getting a little Sly Cooper vibes. I hear you. I see what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Oh. Nope. Okay. And then this goes like that. And then I get my toothpick out. And we press this down because this will not rupture the sticker. Precarious sticker. Yeah, I mean, there's a sticker indent here. There's a piece of white you probably can't see. But there is a little indent. Yeah, there's an indent right there. And that made it easier to get it on, which is great. And then when we put the front piece on and all that, it'll hold it in place better. This shouldn't flake off. This should hold. We're just going to do this for a minute or two, and then we'll wrap up. So I did get one sticker. I was hoping for no stickers, but we did get to a point where I had to do a sticker. One solitary sticker. And then I have a lot more to build with this in the future, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Get rid of this junk. I don't need this. Long-ass beam sabers. Hell yeah. Hell yeah for long-ass beam sabers. Man, my allergies are bothering me. I don't know why. But to take an allergy pill before I go to bed. That would be a good idea. Sorry. Anyway, we're going to wrap up there. I'll just take a photo here while we're hanging out here. But we are going to wrap up, and we are going to do the goodbyes here. I'm going to take this photo of the work in progress that I made here. What we got there? Oops. Actually, I just realized that was a video. Weirdly. I don't know why that was a video. There we go. But that's going to do it for tonight's stream. I hope you will join me on Monday as I dive really far into this kit, this non-grade Chaos Gundam. I will get a 144 scale kit to compare it to. Not the same, Chaos Gundam, but something similar to at least be like, hey, look at the difference. Here's another Destiny Forever thing. We can compare. Anyway, what's going to happen now is we're going to go on a raid. We're going to go find somebody doing cool shit that we want to go hang out with on a Saturday night. And then I'm going to go and watch wrestling because that's what I do on a Saturday night. Rah Rah is streaming. It is a very rare time where we'll go and raid, where we can go and raid another Gunpla builder. Rara is working on the Red Gundam from G-Quux. Rara is fantastic, so we're going to go hang out with our friend. So feel free to come along on this raid with Rara, Vectroid. And I hope you'll join me for this raid. And then again, I hope you come back tomorrow. Monday. What am I even saying? Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern for wrestling conversation, video game conversation, anime conversation. I'll have watched some other things. I'll watch the Xbox thing. We'll talk about that. It'll be fun. You'll have a good time. Come along on this raid. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you for everybody that gifted subs. Thank you for everybody that hung out. I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye.